Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Princess of Wands. This is a very fiery, impulsive, it's a kind of a fire to earth card. The princesses of the tarot, which correspond to the page of other tarot packs, they're focused on right now. They have this an eagerness that's almost naive. You know, it's almost, it's just really gung-ho. It's really excited, really enthusiastic about doing something new. And sometimes it can be reckless. Sometimes it can be impulsive. But this is a spark, you know, of interest in something. And we got to see how we are directing this energy, where this princess is taking us, and what we're going to be getting involved in, and some other factors. So let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. And now we've got a wiser and perhaps more understanding Queen of Cups here. We have an Ace of Cups. We have a Six of Wands. Ooh, a Nine of Cups. A Ten of Pentacles. Wow, very nice. Okay, I like this. We have a Queen of Pentacles now. Very good. We have the Death card. We have the Chariot. And we have a 9, now a 9 of Wands. So this is very good. We sort of begin with the fire. We go through some mostly water and earth here, and then we get back to the fire again at the end. I think that is wonderful. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it down right here with our very own Kelly Kapoor. Right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. And it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. All right. Let's use our intuition. Okay, so looking around the room, we've got two major Arcana energies. We've got the Death card and the Chariot card. Okay. In the environment, in terms of your relationships, I feel like we have this idea here of making room for new, making room for more opportunities, making room for new relationships. Now, we may not be talking romance. You put your pitchforks away. It could be, though, okay? This is love. Everything is love. I'll let you in on a little secret, right? Whether it's romance, platonic relationships, spiritual relationships, relationships with yourself, your pets, your plants, your people, it's all love, right? And that Death card would kind of, in this position anyway, will represent that you are, you're putting the past behind you, that you're letting things stay in the rearview mirror because you want the open road in front of you. You want these new things, that you're feeling this spark of interest toward new things, right? Or maybe one particular thing or one particular person. So there is what I think, you know, we could say like there's an arousal of our energy. Okay, there's a spark of interest here. And when we go through the other cards, we'll see how this is going to sort of unfold through some of the past situation that you've been in, and how we really have to let the past go and to be open to the future and to let the future happen, right? You kind of, you have to get rid of the old things to make room for the new things here, right? So we're kind of cleaning out the closet so we can fit some more shoes down there in the closet, you know. We're sort of going through our old wardrobe so we can get some fancy new jacket that we've got our eye on already. So we have the major arcana, and of course the chariot here in the position of really what we don't want. And to me, that feels like the same old thing, right? The chariot to me feels like it is a fence around our life, and it's just saying, that's where I'm going to stay, that's where I feel safe, this is where I feel at home, you know? I don't think you want to be at home right now. I think you want to be out in the world. And now, I don't mean this quite literally, but I feel like you want to be outside of your comfort zone doing new things. You've got this spark of interest, this spark of enthusiasm. And you want to go either experiment with maybe one new thing, one particular thing, or just generally you want to have a more exciting experience of life. You don't want to just stay at home. You want to go out to restaurants, you know. So this is the card of being at home, but this is the card of kind of staying safe, staying where we are kind of where we're allowing ourselves to operate. So we're going outside of our boundaries here. Because the chariot, let's say, you know, the chariot, it's very important that it sticks to the path. It needs a paved road, right? We're kind of looking to go wandering in the wilderness a little bit. We don't want to have to stay on the trail. If something looks kind of cool over there, I want to be able to go over there and explore and see what it is, and not just say, well, I have to stay on the path, you know. So I feel like you have a lot of this very excited energy right now. We have fire, fire, fire. We've got water, water, water. And I think that is very important too. Fire, 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 water, water, water. We got 3 and 3. Okay, so I feel like your will, your desire to act, that willpower, that impulse in you is very much in harmony with how your emotions are feeling. And it's just like you have this desire in a particular direction, and I feel like you want to go in that direction. And, you know, the water energy, of course, is I think it really is an awakening of a particular desire in you, the awakening of a sense of purpose, maybe, a sense almost of a need to go down this road, a need to explore what the Princess of Wands has sort of been attracted to, or what the Princess of Wands has noticed and says, let's go that way. Okay? It's very exciting. And it's kind of like we're excited to get started. We're excited to start really doing this thing and to see where it goes, whether it's a relationship, whether it is we're going to go to the animal shelter and find an old dog to bring home, you know, whatever it might be for you. Or if maybe it's just can't wait to go try that new restaurant. Yeah. Or can't wait to go shopping. I don't know. We like a lot of things, don't we? So we have that water energy, which I think is very, very good here. The Ace, the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. We've got our fire, like I said, we've got our water. We don't have any air cards. Because I really feel like you're not trying to talk yourself out of this. I think that, I don't know that it's necessarily a particular relationship that you need to articulate and communicate and express and connect with someone. I mean, it may be an interpersonal relationship here, but I don't feel as if the conversation is really being emphasized here. Maybe you're already talking to this person, maybe you're not, maybe you're already sort of thinking about doing this kind of activity. I feel like you're just trying not to think about it too much. You're trying not to either get anxious, you know, when we're waiting for something, like Friday night, we're going to go try that new restaurant. Then all week I'm sitting there thinking about it every day, and I'm just getting myself sort of excited over it. But I still have to wait till Friday, you know. So it's kind of like we're trying to just forget about it. I got to get through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday first, and then we're going to go. So I'm not going to worry about it now, right? So there's an absence of the Swords cards, and then I think in your case, this is a very good thing. And then, of course, we see our little bit of earth energies over here. Now, the Queen of Cups is one of the queens that look at the past. All the queens of the tarot are looking at the past, right? So the Queen of Cups is looking at your emotional history and kind of finding out, like, you know, can I trust this feeling that I have? where did it come from? Why do I, why do I suddenly want to do this? Where is this, where is the origin of this particular feeling, right? So with the Queen of Cups, it's very much an emotional honesty. We're trying to understand what it is really that we feel. Because I think you got this Ace of Cups down in here somewhere. And the Queen is, excuse my voice, the Queen is trying to say, what is that? Where did it come from? How did it get there? So there is an emotional transparency, an emotional honesty. And I think what you are doing is you're learning really, truly an authentic sense of self, what you want and who you are. You're allowing your soul to really kind of open up to you, and you're listening. The Swords card's here, right? You're not talking. You're trying to listen to the soul. And I think the more you do that, we get deeper and deeper into our own soul, right? Our own psyche, right, which is the soul. The surface of the water, the very top of the card there, the surface of the water is just reflective or reflexive. And it's not really authentic. We don't know, there's no truth about it. It's just reflecting back to the outer world. Whatever light, whatever energy is coming our way, we just sort of give it right back. Makes it very simple. And it's usually a way that we, as human beings, try to get along with everybody. I feel like you're a very sensitive person. And so I feel that in some way, to combat that sensitivity, we end up just reflecting back to the world whatever it's giving us. It's kind of like we got that force field. I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you, right? And so we're just kind of giving back to the world what it's sending us. But then we get to the shallow end of the pool. We dip beneath the surface. We get to the shallow end. We start realizing what our shallow end desires are. Gratification, avoidance of pain. Ego stuff, right? But then we go deeper than that even. And we get into the real depths of our soul, and we say, what is my soul trying to tell me? What does it want to express? What is it trying to do? What is this feeling that I'm feeling in here? And I think once we connect with that, I think it gives us a surge of energy. It gives us this sort of this spark of interest here, this what we're calling arousal. And I think that we then are able to put this into action. What this Ace of Cups is, it's kind of what you're being honest with yourself about down beneath the surface of the water. You're seeing the Ace of Cups, and you're realizing that, hey, this feels like it's mine. It feels like it's my soul. It feels like it's my purpose. It feels like I really need to do this, and we're starting to get kind of excited about it, and we're very charged up with this kind of electricity to do the thing. Okay. And you're somebody, again, who's very sensitive. And so when I think, and we don't have those cards, but I think previous to today, maybe weeks ago, maybe months ago, at some point in your life, though, recently, you felt a dis-ease, right? You felt as if you couldn't find this Ace of Cups, that it may have been sitting in your gut like a stone, right? Like an Ace of Pentacles was in there just heavy, just making you feel kind of uncomfortable most days. But discovering what this is and feeling your energy sort of light up over it is a very good sign, right? And I feel that this is a sense of purpose, but I feel like this is a particular thing. I feel like this is having this. It's more than a desire. It feels like it is a need. It feels like it is an essential need of your soul. It's not just reflective or reflexive, and it's not just shallow end. This is a deep, yearning need of your soul, okay? And going up here to the Nine of Cups, this is your understanding of what happiness means to you. And in some ways, I want to point out the juxtaposition between these cards. Okay. For one thing, we could look at this several ways. But first of all, we could say, okay, this is your sense of purpose. Okay. And this is happiness. That's the Nine of Cups. It's a card called happiness. happiness is not purpose necessarily, right? Sometimes we could have a sense of purpose. We could have this deep yearning need to travel a certain direction in life. But we don't have any illusions that it's going to make us happy. Okay? And I think that, in this case, it would be, the gratification. It's not going to be pleasant every day of our lives. I feel my own beliefs with the tarot is that when we are doing our purpose, when we do have the Ace of Cups, when we do feel as if we are listening to what our soul is saying and we are trying our best to manifest that deep desire, that deep need of the soul, I feel like the Nine of Cups here doesn't become just, I'm happy. It becomes a deeper satisfaction in life. Because then we have a 9 plus a 1, we get a 10. The 10 of Cups, right? So happiness alone is just trying to find my way to do one thing after another, whatever is going to make me sort of feel the best every day. Feel the best in my life, right? But there's always something missing. It's happiness. It's saying that everything is going good in my life, but what's missing? What's missing is that sense of purpose. Now we got the 10 of Cups. Now we have really true fulfillment and satisfaction. Happiness is in there, but it's not all that's in there. And it doesn't mean that it's every day is going to be a pleasant day. See, now we've got 10 cups. We've got all the cups, even the 5, even the 7, even the 8 of Cups, so those kind of challenging cards, right? So we need that sense of purpose to sort of round out our life and really, well, not even round it out, but give it a core, right? Give it a core essence. It's kind of like this is the central point of your life, and all the other cups are gathering around it. And I think we get that feeling of real fulfillment, real satisfaction, and real love, and we feel that we are we're doing our will. Yeah. The card in the background, okay, a 6 of Wands here. I feel like in your life I feel like you've gone through a lot of challenges in your life, but I feel like you're very confident in your energy. This is a really good Leo card. It's Jupiter in Leo. It's kind of like it's a sense of I can win if I wanted to. I can do this if I really, really wanted to. There's a belief in yourself. I think that you haven't had an easy life, but you've had a victorious life. Okay? And I think that really you've had a challenging life, but you have overcome a lot. And so you have this belief in yourself. And I think what the Queen of Cups is really trying to do is also look at your history, again, kind of looking at the past, and asking yourself to make sure, just to like double check, is this my ego wanting something that's going to feel good? Or is this something that is really coming from my soul? Because this is Jupiter in Leo. This is an expansion of that sort of ego energy. And so we're trying to double check and make sure that this is something that's not just about gratification. It's not just the ego wanting to do it. Because how do we know the difference? Right? How do we know if this is just, I'm just trying to feel good in as many different ways as I can, which is the ego's way of saying, yeah, I want to do this, because that's what the ego is going to do. The ego is going to want to pursue pleasure and avoid pain, avoid discomfort. Okay? So if we're looking at this and we're thinking, well, this is going to be fun, this is going to be exciting, how do we differentiate that from the ego saying, that's what I want to do right now? Well, I think we have to kind of follow the advice of the Princess of Wands, and we have to try it. We have to experiment. We have to try to be reasonable and say, okay, well, what's going to happen if I start doing it? Right? Because eventually the ego will get tired of doing something. Eventually the ego will say, okay, it's not pleasurable anymore. And that's very often where most of us, a lot of us, will quit and we'll find something else to do. But you have this ability to keep going. You have this ability to see it through. And you know that is the ultimate test there of whether this is something that is an expression of your soul or if it's just some kind of ego desire, right? And there's nothing wrong with ego desires either, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, I can't wait for that restaurant at the end of the week. I mean, that's an ego thing, right? That's going to be just a pleasurable thing to do, I'm hoping, right? But this is, I think, a really big shift in your life. This is kind of a big life decision or a big navigational kind of move, a reorientation, if you will. And so I think that we are going to proceed with this. Here we have a 10 of Pentacles, and this is like the ideal outcome. This is the perfection. This is kind of like, this is what we're sort of feeling this desire, and we're thinking, this is what I would like it to be. This is what I can imagine looking at the future. This is what I can see. This is the future that I'm imagining, right? And I think we have to be able to have this vision. This is the vision of your best life. This is where I say, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw a picture of your best life, right? We have to be able to see this. It's kind of, in a way, it's saying long-term goals or ideal outcome, the perfection. If in a perfect world, what would this desire, this need, this deep soul desire that we're feeling with the Ace of Cups, what would it turn into? What would it look like in its perfect form? Okay. I think moving forward in this, with this interest of yours, I think it's going to be very productive. It feels like it's going to be an improvement in your life. It's going to lead to good things for you. I don't think it will always be pleasant, and that is going to be the real test for you. And I'm going to skip ahead to the 9 of Wands here real quick, because with the 9 of Wands, this is the idea that when the ego is tired, the ego doesn't want to do it, and we just say, I'd rather stay in bed. I don't want to get up and do it anymore. That initial spark, right, of enthusiasm is kind of gone, and we're trying to force ourselves to do it. One of the ways that you can check in with your soul to see, is this really a deep soul desire, or is this just ego? When we start doing the thing, when you force yourself out of bed and you start doing whatever this activity is, does the energy in you rise up to carry you forward? Or the whole time, are you miserable? Are you bored? Are you burned out? Does the energy stay low? I feel like the 9 of Wands here is saying that you feel, when you're connected with this, and that's what this card symbolizes, strength, when you're connected with your purpose. You feel a surge of energy, even when the ego's tired, even when the body's tired, when the mind, the heart, worn out, exhausted. Ego doesn't want to get out of bed in the morning. I want to snooze it all day. I just want to watch the Sopranos on TV and take naps, you know. But once we get up and we get moving and we start getting into the groove of whatever this activity is, your energy will rise and it will carry you through your day or your hour, or whatever it is. And that's how you know that you are connected with Source, that you are connected with your purpose. Doesn't mean you're still not tired, right? And that's how I was thinking about it this morning. That's why I'm bringing it up. I was thinking about how when I get out of bed 5:30 in the morning, right? By the time, it's like midnight by the time I finish all my work in a day. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and I get into the studio. It takes me all the effort I can muster to get out of bed. I just want to sleep. I'm tired. And I'm dragging my body to the kitchen, and I'm getting my cup of coffee, and I'm trying to rub the sleep from my eyes. You know, once I get into the studio and I put the outfit on, right, and the lights are on, there's something in me that rises up and carries me through 5 more hours of filming, right? And then it's on to the rest of my day with a lot of other, business to take care of, you know. That's how we know that we are doing what our soul really wants us to do. And if this energy isn't there, then we know, okay, well, this was fun for a time. Ego got its satisfaction, and now it's time to move on. Okay? And that, I think, is what we're doing with our Six of Wands here. We're realizing that these were things that we accomplished, and it's just, well, it's time to move on now. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free, doesn't cost anything. Your general energy is looking at the past. It's a Queen of Pentacles, trying to understand how we got right here, right now. Well, it was through understanding the nature of this kind of energy. Really, it's looking back at the Six of Wands again, looking at these accomplishments that you've made in your life, looking at those moments where even though you were tired and exhausted, like I'm tired and exhausted right now, you could probably see it in my face, but there's an energy, right? Looking back to those moments where despite how tired and whatever, despite how tired we felt, there was an energy that rose to the occasion and carried us through our activities, our projects, or whatever it was. Okay, so we're looking back at those moments to understand those wins. These are big wins. So that we can understand how to differentiate those. And then we say, well, I did these other activities, and, they were, maybe they started out the same. They started out very exciting, but then they lost their luster. That spark went away, and I couldn't even force myself to do it. And then we see our performance is falling away, and we're getting really, really bored, and so our mind starts drifting. So we're understanding how to differentiate between those sorts of Princess of Wands energy, those impulses, those sparks of interest, right? And I think that is very, very good. And the Death card next is about letting go. So we're letting go of those things that no longer have that spark of energy. And then when we're doing those things, we're no longer feeling that spiritual willpower, that energy in us rising to the occasion and carrying us through. You're still going to be tired. You're still going to be sore. Your ego is still going to be saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. But there's some sort of surge of energy, right, that gives you what you need to follow through. And the Death card here is going to be letting go of all of those things that aren't doing that anymore. And that's okay. It's okay to recognize a few things, or, well, that was just ego. I enjoyed it for a minute. Now it's not for me anymore, and I can let it go because I'm making room for that real deep soul purpose need that despite how tired I am, when I start doing it every day or whatever, that energy will rise. And I will feel the strength. And that's where we get our Nine of Wands. Like I said, that is an intense strength that is generated when we connect. It's like a battery that's connecting with that purpose. Sun and moon conjoined. It's hooking that battery up, and we just feel charged up. And still tired, still sleepy, still lamenting it, still sore, but we're charged up. Okay, we are connected with our purpose in that moment. So the Death card is understanding how we got to let all the other stuff go if we're going to have room for that kind of experience in life. And I think that you're feeling pulled towards something that this may be the one, right? Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a purpose, maybe it's an activity, a sport, a hobby, maybe it's a business thing, maybe it's whatever, I don't know. It could be anything, right? And the point here with the lack of Earth cards, so we have a couple. We have the ideal, and then we have the sort of the practical retrospective look. But we don't have too many of the small cards of the tarot, right, for the suit of pentacles, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters is that you can see this really being something perfect. Like you can imagine yourself doing this and how good it's going to be and what the sort of ideal form of it is. And then it's just a matter of following this impulse, following this interest, right? Fire to earth. Going after this. Okay? Well, we got to make room for this. If this really is the one, the ace, right, that's going to round out your life and give you that core purpose in life, we got to make room for it. So all these other things that maybe we just have to kind of force ourselves to do, and even when we're doing it, we're kind of doing it half-assedly, right? Death card says we got to let all that stuff go to make room for the purpose, and make room for that big thing that is more than likely, in your case, more than likely, this is it, okay? Now, we have the Chariot, which we talked about as the energy we don't want. We don't want to be confined. To me, I'm seeing a fence. Right, I'm seeing like a yard that's fenced in, and our poor little puppy can only play in that yard, right? That we sort of were in this chariot, and we are fixed to the path. It's like we're a train on a track, but it's like we're looking out the window of the train and we're thinking, oh, wow, it looks so nice out there. I wish we could go that way. I wish I could explore that way over there. I don't really like where this train is taking me, you know? So the Chariot is that energy we don't want. We don't want to be confined. We don't want to be stuck on a track. We want to be able to go off-road if we want. We want to be able to dive down like a submarine or soar in the air like an airplane, or whatever we wish to do, right? So it's kind of a freedom to explore other modes of transportation, to get to other places. You know, I have a little car. I can't take that car everywhere. You know, there's some places that car can't go. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't run. It would just get stuck real quick, you know. So I'm stuck to taking, you know, the city streets, you know, and maybe a couple country roads, but, you know, not if they're too gravelly, I guess. So the Chariot, yeah, that's the confinement that we don't want. We don't want to be stuck at home doing the same thing because, well, that's, you know, that's what I'm forced to do, because then I feel like we're sort of stuck here doing this, but this isn't what we want to do. When we're engaged with this, the usual things, some of these ego things, right? That we're trying to force ourselves to do it, but we just don't like it anymore. And that's when, and those are some signs that this may not be our purpose, right? We feel bored. We feel sort of depressed. We get, you know, the burnout. It's difficult for us to focus on that. It's difficult for us to perform well. Trust me, I've had a lot of jobs in my life. And some of those jobs, I felt that they were not right for me. But I needed the money, and it was a job, and I agreed to go work there, and they hired me, and so I'd forced myself to go every day, but I did not want to go. And when I was there, there was literally nothing that would charge me up and carry me through the day. I tried everything. I tried lots of coffee. I tried self-medication. I tried distraction. And eventually it was just, I got to quit. I've got to go do something else. Okay? And I feel like since you have that Princess of Wands, you've already got your eye on something else. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to say you should quit your job or leave your family or anything like this. Okay? But I'm saying that you should explore whatever this new spark of interest is, because it looks like it might be the one. All right? Let's look at our mystery card. We talked about our Nine of Wands there, so I think we're good to address the mystery card. I would like to see, well, maybe more fire energy, maybe the Strength card, right? The Leo power card. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Seven of Cups. Yeah, this makes sense. Because the Seven of Cups are these ego interests. These are the things, your ego wants to go do it. Well, that's just the thing. How do we differentiate the Princess of Wands? Maybe this is just ego going after something that's going to feel good for a minute. And maybe it is. And so what? That's okay, right? You want to go to the restaurant. It is an ego desire. I want to go to the restaurant and eat. You go to the restaurant and eat, and maybe you're not into it. The food doesn't taste good. You're kind of bored. You're getting antsy. You're ready to leave. Well, maybe it's not for you, right? But we have to at least explore some of these other interests that we have in life. And I think you got your heart set on a particular thing or person. We've got to go see what it's all about and see if this really feels like the one, or if it is just another one. It could just be an ego interest, some gratification that we're after, and that's okay. But this could be something that even after that ego gratification sort of wanes, that there's still something that is connecting us to, there's still something that is firing us up and elevating us and carrying us through when we're in that situation, or we're in the company of that person, or doing that job or that work. Okay. And sometimes we have to go through a lot of these. Like, I've been through a lot of jobs in my life until I found this one, right? And this one, without a doubt, feels like it is that one, that purpose. And I will continue to do this until spirit and my soul kind of, give me those indications that it's time to move in a different direction, or it's time to change something about this, right? That will reconnect it. We have to always be listening to our soul. Always. All right. And we have to be able and willing to explore these things, and some of these may be distractions, but this is what we're trying to find out. Is this just an ego gratification, distraction, desire, or is this the one? Or is this just another one? Yeah. I love this energy for you. We're going to do an I Ching reading. We're going to do some oracle cards. Click on the link in the corner, or there's a link down below for the extended reading. Okay. New readings for Leo are on Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both of those free readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It is also free to do so. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.